Good day, everyone. This is Pineleaf Needles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Draculata.
Hey now, everybody.
Hello there. And let's head on into the news for this week. And the big news is, of course, the dawn of the Dragonborn.
Oh my god, so many Dragonborn everywhere.
more than there used to be gnomes?
Actually, yes. I think there is, believe it or not.
Which is rather strange, because when I was going about adventuring, I didn't see all that many. In fact, when I was on Korthos, I was expecting to see all Dragonborn, and what I kept running into were a couple of oh boy, I forgot what those semi-mechanized Caneth creatures are called.
Warforge?
Yes, Warforge! Those things!
Yeah. Wow, I'm surprised. Yeah, there is oh god, there are so many Dragonborn everywhere. Dragons everywhere, people. But yeah, Update 35 is live on the servers. And let's flash back to last week's show. I said, because we were talking about Lamania release notes for Update 35, and I said, quote, oh, there should be another build on Lamania this week. How big of a dumbass am I? Yeah, I got that message. It's like, oh, Update 35 is launching today. And I'm like, what the what? Like, oh my god, you're kidding me, right? But yeah. And it kind of went okay, sort of.
Well, yeah, there was the inevitable patch the next day.
Yeah, we did have a hot fix because one of the new quests, the newcomers, had to be turned off, and that hot fix corrected that issue, and also corrected an issue where characters could not change their gender during a racial reincarnation. But everything seems to be working fairly well as we speak. So we'll see. I haven't done the newcomers quest, but I have done the other quest, and it worked fine. So don't know about newcomers yet. I'll find out. But from what I'm seeing on the forums, newcomers is now fixed as well.
Yeah, we can get back to that later.
We can. And of course, we're not really going to go over release notes because we did that last week. There is no changes in them. I will put a link in the show notes to the release notes if you would like to read them. But pretty much this is 2 new quests, the raid, and Dragonborn. That is what we have in Update 35, Dawn of the Dragonborn.
So, did you create a Dragonborn or not?
I did.
Ooh.
I did.
I get to talk about that later.
Yeah, I was going to say, spoiler alert for later in the show.
All right.
Yeah, I did.
And it looks like the Lioness Hireling VIP gift got extended, but would that only been until the 19th or what?
No, it's extended indefinitely at this point right now.
Oh.
There is an issue with PayPal. It seems like people are getting VIP with PayPal, and they're getting their confirmation from PayPal. But for some reason, Standing Stone Games is not seeing they're getting the PayPal payment. So people are not actually getting the benefits of VIP, but they're actually paying for it. And it only affects PayPal at this point. So I did see that Cordovan did post they are working on the problem with PayPal. So until that issue gets resolved, they are going to extend the Lioness Hireling VIP gift until that is fixed. So if it gets fixed tomorrow, you'll have till tomorrow. If it gets fixed next week, you'll have till next week. So stay tuned for when it's going to end. But it seems like PayPal and Standing Stone Games are not playing nice together right now.
So, okay, because I had heard that on the Lotro side, it had only been extended for a definite time. So I was wondering what's the difference on those two ends. That
I'm not sure. I wonder if I don't know. I didn't look over on the Lotro forums to see if it was the same. But yeah, that was just there was a note in the forums about when Cordovan originally posted that it was running through March 19th. It got extended to, and then he posted after that, we are extending the deadline until this PayPal issue gets worked out.
Okay, so it was originally extended to 19th, then it
correct.
Okay, so
Right.
therefore, on the Lotro side, I did not see any messages of it getting extended past the 19th.
So apparently it's just an issue with DDO then, I guess.
Hmm.
That's kind of weird, actually. But yeah, and Cordovin did post that on 319. So he posted that yesterday as we record this on Monday evening. So you do have a little bit more time if you're not VIP and you want to become VIP to get the Lioness Hireling. You still have some time, but just don't pay with PayPal. That's my pro tip for you.
Right, then let's head to the DDO Chronicle, where it looks like we see a couple of Dragonborn going against a blue dragon.
That's kind of mean, isn't it? I mean, that's like, I realize we're one of you, but we're going to kill you anyway. A little awkward, but, what are you going to do?
A little awkward.
In the community spotlight of our Chronicle this week, we have Saki is taking a nude journey through DDO's heroic levels. And some of you might be going, what? Nude? And in this case, nude means no items equipped, no spell components, no guild buffs, but with past lives and epic past lives only. So click over and watch his journey that he's taking.
No items equipped?
No items equipped. And moving on in the Chronicle, in the event section, Joffrey, once again, is organizing that March of the Bears on Canis to roll up a druid and march on Stormreach to demand a bear die. I think I'm going to have to take part in this, just because that will be fun, I think. And also, remember the High Lords of Malkir are hosting a Reaver Spate and Fall of Truth teaching raid series every Saturday. So click over and get more information on that. And if I recall correctly, that is on the Sarlona server. So if you want to learn how to do those two raids, the High Lords are there to teach you. In the fan site news section, DDO Cast discusses shields and orbs in their latest episodes. Click over and give that a watch or a listen. DDO Gamer is liking his top-hatted frog. Click over and see his blog post and find out why Jeff likes his top-hatted frog. And our unofficial stalker, Ed Reek, writes about his runs over DDO's 11th anniversary. Click and read that post. And Mickey is working on week 20 in her LEEE rating effort. So click over and see how she's doing with her many, many raids. She is
LEEE?
Legendary Elite, Epic Elite.
Okay.
And finally, we have Grim Rorty wraps up her Paladin lives, and she tells us how those went for her life 32.
Oh, good grief.
32 lives, Pine Leaf. That is insane.
Yeah.
Insane, I say. And, of course, we have our Chronicle comment of the week. And, of course, it's Dragonborn themed. Why would it not be? What is a Dragonsborn favorite breakfast?
Favorite breakfast? This is, I would say roasted gnome.
Ah, you stole my answer. I think that's the first time we actually came up with the same answer for a Chronicle question. So write this day on the calendar. That will be a trivia question for DDO Players News at some point. But yes, roasted gnome, of course.
Now the screenshot of the week looks a little strange.
Little dark.
Yeah, a little dark, I think is.
Yeah, it's Norbergine, I'm going to say, finds an abstract place to post a screenshot in the 309th DDO screenshot of the week. And I was just trying to figure out exactly, it looks like, I don't know. I was trying to figure out, I can't figure out if they're laying on the floor or maybe they died. They got a screenshot like when they were falling down, because it kind of looks like they're falling. They're laying, but it's really dark. I have no idea where the screenshot was from. It's a different type of screenshot for this week. I will give them that.
All right, that's for sure. So let's then head into our store sales. What's on sale this weekend? Is it wonderful?
We do have a pretty good sale this week. 20% off Astral Shards, Guild Renowned Elixirs. We have 50% off the Guild Charters and the Guild Airship Beacons. The free sample of the week through the 23rd is the Lesser Treasure Hunters Elixir. You get one of those when you use the coupon code DRAGONLOOT. And remember, that is one per account, so choose your server wisely. And also, don't forget, you can still get your cake and eat it too. The 11th anniversary cake. You can get that with the coupon code HAPPY11th. And you can get 2 of those per account. And that is through April 2nd. And for a limited time through March 26th, the McRib of DDO is back. That's right. Heroic and Epic Autos boxes are back in the store through the 26th.
Now let's see what's coming in from the dungeon. In this case, it's Gen Con announces a new president.
Yes, this news kind of came out of nowhere, actually, because Adrian Stewart, let's try that again. Adrian Swarout has been president of Gen Con for a long time, and we're going to get a new one. Game industry veteran David Hope is going to join Gen Con as president and take over the top role, and that's going to be in May. And of course, Hope is going to replace Seward, which I just said, who will retire after 10 years as president. So she has been around for 10 years, and she decided Gen Con 50 is the perfect time to step down.
Right.
So I guess I can see.
Looks like it was a successful term if they were in Chapter 11 when she stepped in.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. She did some amazing things for Gen Con, actually. And the biggest thing was, yes, when she took over, they were in Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and she brought them out of that successfully and also doubled attendance over the past 10 years. So she's still going to be on the board of directors, just not going to be president and CEO anymore. That is going to be David Hope. So good luck to him. And, of course, Gen Con 50, amazing 50 years of Gen Con. It's coming up in August. Can't wait. Exciting, exciting, exciting.
And you know what days that's in?
I do. It starts August 15th and runs through the 19th.
15th through 19th. And
I'm sorry. 15th to the 20th. My bad. Sorry.
15th through the 20th. So you have to... All right, so therefore it ends the day before the eclipse.
Okay. That's a good thing because we don't want an eclipse at Gen Con because strange thing happened there anyway. I can't imagine what would happen if there'd be an eclipse. That would just be scary is what that would be.
Yeah, that would be scary. Well, they won't be outside, so they probably wouldn't even notice it.
Well, true. Very, very true.
Let's see what's on the tabletop, and... this belongs in a museum.
I told you we were going to have a review, and here's the review. We talked about this, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, but this is the new game coming to us from Rather Dashing Games, and it's the third game in their Drawn and Quartered series. So basically what you do is there is no board to the game. You're actually drawing tiles, and you're making your board. And setup is really simple. It's just like other Drawn and Quarters. You will choose your archaeologist, and then you're going to choose what color base you want. And then you're going to get 5 random artifact tiles. And then you're going to get 3 other tiles. And then you're going to start laying your tiles down and drawing tiles. And on each turn, you can place a tile. You can also use an action if your tile has that. Or you can move your archaeologist up to 3 spaces. You can collect an artifact if possible. Doing that will score you more scores. Or you can draw a new tile. But keep in mind, your opponent, when you're laying your tiles, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the biggest row of tiles, and your opponent is going to try to block you. There are tiles to where you can't lay a tile by it, or there's tiles that you can only lay a certain color tile by it. So you can kind of, screw over your opponent a little bit with tiles. So you got to have to be careful because you can have a grand plan to what you're going to do, and then you'll get like 3 tiles into it, and then your opponent can lay a tile that will just totally screw that up. And then you screwed yourself because then you've broken yourself off and you can't get around that. So very strategic game, actually. You wouldn't think it would be, but once you get into the nuance of the game, it's very, very strategic. And this one is a little different in the fact there is also a mummy that that will come out on the board as well. And of course, mummies and archaeologists do not get along, so you want to avoid the mummy at all costs. So yeah, there is a lot of strategy in it. You would think it would be an easy tile laying game, but once you play it, it is actually not. Very, very strategic, and it's one of those games. If you're playing with like good friends and you like to like screw each other over in games, this is a great game for it because you can really lay some tiles that will really, really mess your other players up. So keep that in mind. So as I said, you can have this grand plan to what you're going to do, but one tile laid from your opponent can totally mess that up. And then it's going to mess your scoring up, and then you have to figure out how you're going to fix it. So strategy, it's got great artwork. Of course, all the Rather Dashing games have great artwork. Grant Wilson is the person that does artwork for those games. He just does an amazing job. So check it out. It'll be in stores the second week of April, so you got a little bit to wait yet. But the name of it, once again, is This Belongs in a Museum, from Rather Dashing Games.
And now it is time to sing a song of ice and fire.
And I'm actually shocked it took this long for anybody, especially Simon, to come out with an ice and fire miniatures game. And of course, if you're not familiar with what A Song of Ice and Fire is, it's basically Game of Thrones. That's what the books are called. They're called the Ice and Fire. But HBO just chose to call it Game of Thrones, and that's what most people call it. But yeah, we're getting a Game of Thrones miniature game. How cool is that?
Whee!
And like I said, I'm shocked it took CMON this long, because CMON is known for their mini games. And yes, this one is going to come out on Kickstarter soon. Not sure when, but soon. This is a tabletop miniatures game. It's going to let players take control of their favorite house from the novels. And it is going to be represented by trays of high-quality pre-assembled miniatures. And you're going to lead them into battle against your opponents. Players can recreate their favorite moments from the series, or you can create your own stories.
It sounds like it's going to be expensive.
I usually CMON games are with that many minis.
And also, I have a feeling they're going to... If they're doing this, if this is going to be a Game of Thrones, they might be seeing, can we challenge the highest mounts won on a Kickstarter?
CMON doesn't do bad on Kickstarter, so we'll see. Yes, this is going to kickstart later in 2017. And then they will have a healthy lineup of new miniatures in retail stores soon after. I.e., cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
So it sounds like all they need to do is to hire a top designer like Eric Lang, and they'll be going.
Yeah, that would be a great idea, wouldn't it? Oh, wait, They did.
Yeah.
That's right. CMON did announce last weekend at the Gamma Trade Show that they are happy to announce Eric M. Lang is joining the team, and his official title is going to be the Director of Game Design. He's going to start on April 1st of 2017, and beyond continuing to design new games for CMON's ever-growing library, Eric is also going to lead a development team growing CMON's vision of putting out fun, engaging, high-quality gaming experiences.
They forgot the adjective expensive, right?
Well, that's true, too. But if anybody can do it, it's Eric Lang. That man knows how to design a tabletop game. I would say he is the best board game designer to date right now that is working in the industry, in my opinion.
Okay, that's high praise from you.
Yeah. Eric Lang knows what he's doing. So congratulations to him, and congratulations to CMON. And I guess we'll just have to see what kind of awesome games he comes out of this collaboration that we have going on.
Then let's head into our week of gaming. And Dracula, what were you up to?
Well, you kind of spoiled it earlier in the show, but yeah.
Sorry about that.
I made a Dragonborn. Nobody's shocked at that. I mean, come on. Everybody knew it was going to happen. And I was debating about what to make, and other than my rogues, I don't like to play melee characters. So I was thinking about maybe making a paladin. I thought seriously about it for about a minute, and then I'm like, nah, because I don't enjoy melee that well. It's not bad on the rogue, because on the rogue I tend to like sneak around and do assassinate a lot, so I'm not really in their face all that often. So I decided, well, what else can I do? And then I thought, hey, Dragonborn gets a nice hefty bonus to charisma. Right. So let's make another warlock. So I made a Dragonborn warlock, and I started at level 7 because, unlike Pine Leaf, I don't do Korthos. So I started out in the marketplace, and I'm running the Sharon Syndicate, doing that on Elite. So far, I've done Standing Ground, Dirty Laundry, and Stormweaver's Fresco, and so far enjoying the Dragonborn. What up from my experience, of course, I realize I'm only level 7 and I'm doing marketplace, easiest quest. But wow, holy cow, does that Dragon Breath do a lot of damage. Oh my God. It's insane the amount of damage your Dragon Breath does.
Once every 25 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Gonna say, so when that cooldown comes off, use your Dragon Breath. Yeah, it's awesome. So I'll be interested to see once I get up in higher levels at how well that works. But so far, I'm enjoying it. There's just like some funky things about some of the animation though, because I noticed a lot of the times if I'm doing my Eldritch Blast, I don't walk anymore. I kind of like floats on the ground a little bit. It's weird. So there's like a little animation issues, I think, but overall, so far, I seem to enjoy the Dragonborn a lot. So we'll see how that goes. Then my Ranger, which is level 13 still, that's the Gnome Ranger. I am in the Gnome Static group with Mithri, Saba, Rent, and Cad. We got together again, and again, we were sans Saba. She could not join us again. But we soldiered on anyway. She is falling so far behind. She's going to kill us. Saba, we're sorry. Not really, but we're sorry. We did Black and Blue, which is one of the new quests. Won't spoil it for anybody that hasn't done it yet. I enjoyed the quest. I enjoyed some of the mechanics they have in the quest. A couple things happened in it I wasn't expecting. Was not expecting the boss whatsoever, because this time I didn't go on the Mania and run the quest, so I was going into it blind. So the final boss was a surprise to me. I enjoyed it, though. And that was when we ran it, unfortunately, Newcomers was turned off, so we can do that one. So I'm still yet to run Newcomers, but so hopefully next time we play, we'll run Newcomers. Then my level 15 Rogue, which of course I play with you, so I'll let you talk about what we did. Didn't do a lot this week, but you'll talk about that. So then the only other thing I did is some tabletop, and nobody will be shocked to find out that I played This Belongs in a Museum. I know, shocking, right? Yeah. I played that several times, and of course that was for the review, which we talked about. So that was my week in gaming. How about you? What were you up to?
Well, I will begin with my Gnome Warlock that I played with you. We went into the Veil of Twilight and essentially did landscape killing. We got through many steps of landscape killing out there.
Yes, we did.
But what happened was that as we were doing through this, we got a call and were asked to join a stream for Lotro, so therefore we joined a Lotro stream, so we didn't have our full time that we normally had together on the matter. But I did, during all that slaying, did hit level 17 at the finish of that.
Did you? I didn't remember that you leveled.
Well, that's because I got the XP during the time there, but I didn't do the actual leveling procedure until tonight. So
okay. Okay, well, that means this week I should level, because you usually level just a tad bit before me.
Yeah, double check your experience maybe if you have time between now and then, just to make sure, since I did do those couple of runs of the Tower of Frost.
Oh, that's why you jump. Okay.
Yeah.
I should be able to catch up, because it seems like I was on like my 4th bubble or something, maybe. So
okay, so
I'm almost to 17. So yeah, I should be able to hit 17.
All right.
I think.
Good. Now then, we'll head into my human monk, where I started out on Sorrow Dusk Isle, where I finished that up. And then in House Beneath, I decided to run spies in the house.
Oh my god, I haven't run that question for like ever.
I'm just wondering, this sounds like it would be on your list of quests that you don't like.
I don't mind spies in the house.
I don't know, because when
It's
I
kind
read
of
it,
annoying, but I don't.
felt it was worse than the pit.
No, God, no.
No, I couldn't
pit's
finish it.
Really?
No, I could not finish. I even went to videos, watched videos on how to get past a certain point, and I still couldn't do it. There was one guy who says, "Oh, you'll need a decent jump to make this platform." Yeah, I'm level 10, and I have a jump of 19, and I could not make that jump. And of course, there's all this talk about jets. I did not see any jets going all over the place, despite setting. I thought I hit every single valve in there. I turned that crazy green wheel, and I could not find those jets they're all talking about.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of jets in there that there's ones that'll like shoot you kind of sideways, and then there's one that'll shoot you straight up.
Yes, and to me, that was the single most annoying part of the pit. And I figured I was able to get by those, but nope, I could not finish this quest. I eventually just gave up completely. And I decided to see, okay, what level 10 quests there were. And, here's this thing called Newcomers. I don't recall it. This is, of course, I had forgotten what the new quests were. So.
Oh, okay.
When they sent me where they did, I eventually did figure out that, these are the new quests.
Oh, yeah.
So I ran this, and I know that Drac will not want to run this one solo because it has a lot of puzzles in it.
I heard that.
There's a Simon puzzle in it.
Yep, gonna say, I know I've seen on the forums a lot of people were talking about the Simon puzzle.
Okay.
Like, oh God, I'm gonna hate this quest then.
Yeah, that is that, and the biggest trouble I had though was this room where you had to hit a lot of shooting targets. I'm on a monk.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm gonna say, why did you have? Oh yeah, you were on a monk. Yes, I could probably see why you'd have that a little problem or find that a little frustrating.
Yeah, I tried throwing shuriken at it, but that was at such a distance away that it was massive distance penalties on it. So I had a lot of trouble with that. I tried picking up the bows that occasionally dropped from boxes that you find in there, and I usually ran out of arrows well before anything on there because it was like I couldn't, because I'm not proficient in bows, so therefore not proficient in bows. Shuriken was on the edge of its range, so yeah, it took me a long time to finish that puzzle, but I did eventually get that finished. Then I ran black and blue, and all I can say there is bring some protection against electricity when you do it.
Agreed.
Yes, agreed. And it was fun trying to get my cleric not to get themselves killed inside. And then I started my Dragonborn. I decided to try a favored soul, since I never seriously did. I did it when I was doing all of the classes during that little thing, but I never really seriously ran a favorite soul, so I just tried that. So I took the name Pine Breath and did a custom build with it, then ran through Korthos.
Of course you did.
All right, and got to level 3. Now, probably the biggest surprise I had in this entire thing was that when I went into Korthos and started looking for the rares, this is the first time that in a single instance of Korthos that I got all 3 rares. I mean,
wow,
I didn't even know it
was
possible to get all 3 rares in a single instance, because usually I've gotten plenty of times when I've gotten 0 in an instance, but
oh yeah, all the time for me when on the rare occasions I do run Korthos.
Right, but all 3 rares in a single instance. I said, wow. And then on tabletop, I was continuing my campaign in one deck dungeon, and I finally killed the Yeti, which was being a real annoyance for me. So that means the only one of the bosses I have yet to kill is the Lich. So I have 11 days in which to kill this Lich in order to have a successful campaign, since my goal in this campaign is to successfully defeat all of the bosses.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you got 11 days yet. You should be able to figure
I
it
got
out.
11 days. I have all the things that I picked up from on the builds on the campaign, so hopefully it will give me enough of a leg up that I could actually survive this, but we're going to have to see. Also, I played Bethel Woods, which is a new game. And Bethel Woods is a nice little co-op that uses a Moncala mechanism. So I think it's the first co-op I've heard of that uses that mechanism. And I also tried a solo variant for Alhambra, the dice game. And maybe I set it a little bit on the easy side, so therefore I have to tweak it because this is the first time I attempted that and I won it. So therefore obviously needs a little tweaking, I think, to make that a little bit more challenging. And that's my week in gaming. We currently have 22 supporters on Patreon, and if you would like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be a guest with us here on an episode of DDO Players News. And we have a featured comment this week.
We do. It is from Muskie Elon. He left a comment on the screenshot of the week, number 61. I should say our screenshot of the week, number 61, and it was his screenshot. Remember, we couldn't figure out where it came from. Muskie says, this was in Giant Hold Tor. That's a Madstone rod on the pedestal under the orb.
Thank you for helping us to decipher that, Muskie. If you would like to send us an email, you could send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. You could also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance @PlayersAlly, DDO Players @DDO Players, Draculetta @Draculetta_72, and Pineleaf @Pineleaf Needles. The Players Alliance has 4 live shows every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News on the first and third Fridays at 11 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have XP Quest. On the last Friday of each month, we have Loto Academy after school. Saturday of each month at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Loto Players News. You can join us for our live shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. This is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to quest responsibly.